Hey guys, it's 𝐌'𝐤𝐤𝐞𝐢𝐚𝐡 and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the pros and the cons of being an over-the-road female truck driver. If you haven't already and you're new here, make sure you smash that like button, click that subscribe button, and let's hop straight into the video. So let's talk about the negatives first, because I just want to go on and get the negatives out the way. So first and foremost, I do want to let you guys know that I am an over-the-road truck driver. Many of you guys may know this. There are different types of truck drivers: over-the-road truck drivers, local truck drivers that run dedicated, and so much more. However, for me, I am an over-the-road truck driver. So some of the things that I'm going to be discussing with you guys today is some of the things that I actually noticed. So the first con that I want to start off telling you guys about is loneliness over the road. Being over the road and being an over-the-road truck driver, meaning that you travel all 48 states. In my opinion, it's a lot that comes with being an over-the-road truck driver. One being the fact that you travel all 48 states, and the fact that you travel all 48 states, you never know where they're going to send you. So sometimes when I get lows, I do get anxious or have this feeling of getting anxious. I think being the fact that I'm a content creator with doing trucking and being a female truck driver, but also being a female truck driver content creator, as well as photographer, videographer, I think that me filming things and putting it into my own perspective make my job cool. I think it makes my job more worth me wanting to be over the road, because I also get to get great scenery. I get to film great things, see great things, try out different foods, shop. You know, I get to show you guys a lot of the good with being an over-the-road truck driver, being the fact that I can put it in a film perspective. You see what I'm saying? Now, had I had this job over the road, being an over-the-road female truck driver, and I was not a content creator, I was not doing YouTube, or just simply making any sort of digital content, I probably would not like being an over-the-road truck driver as much. I know you guys probably hear a lot also about being a local truck driver when you start out, but I do honestly feel like truck driving over the road, being an over-the-road truck driver your first year, definitely gives you that experience that you need. Because although I love being a truck driver, sometimes it takes a lot of discipline, it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of things that typically being a local driver or a dedicated driver probably would not take. It takes extra effort to be out over the road. Not because driving local or dedicated is an easier position. I feel like being local or dedicated, you just have less things to worry about when it comes to the unknown. I would definitely say that's just my personal opinion on that. So another con that I would tell you guys about with being over the road is you have to figure things out. You have to be a problem solver. If you was one of those people in school where, you know, you kind of like people to do things for you, you kind of like to have people think for you, or just have people to help you all of the time, then maybe truck driving would not be for you, because when you are in this truck, you are basically your own boss. Company driver, owner, operator, to me it's all the same thing, because honestly, when you're in this truck in the perspective of being out over the road by yourself, you are your own boss. You do have to problem solve. You are responsible for what happens to your truck, what you do, how you do it. It's a lot of things that come into perspective when you're over the road truck driving. Another thing being the fact that, you know, you have to problem solve. So to me, that's the con. You always have to think. So here's an example. Sometimes I use both of my GPSs. Well, most times I use both of my GPSs, and I have a Garmin and I have a Copilot. Now, my Garmin works really well in the South. My Copilot don't work that well in the South. My Copilot works great in the North. So sometimes when I type in addresses on my Garmin and my Copilot, the address do not come up on neither. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan of using cell phones when it comes to navigation for a semi-truck, although I know that there are apps that you can use on your cell phone, you know, to give you a trucker's route. Me personally, I feel like if I bought a trucker GPS, it's going to take me on the trucker GPS road. Now, you guys know that this is not always true when it comes to these trucker GPSs. These trucker GPSs will take you on roads that are not truck friendly, and also restricted roads where trucks are not supposed to be. So something that I'm also going to talk to you guys about is pay. As a new company driver, a lot of the companies that you hear about or see, especially like second chance companies, meaning that these companies typically hire people who have DUIs, felonies, or people who just kind of need a second chance at being a truck driver. You know what I mean? Because people do make errors, accidents do happen, bad things do happen when you're out of the road, or you know, bad things do happen before you become a truck driver, and your license is very important. So I think that, you know, second chance companies try to sell you this dream when you first starting out, that hey, nobody's going to pay you, a lot of people is not going to pick you up because you have this bad record, you have this accident, you know, just so on and so forth, you know, with the aspects or the factors that play a big role in whether or not a company wants to hire you. You know, it could be a background check, it could just simply be your MVR. Now all of these companies are different, you know what I'm saying, but all companies have their own nicks and picks about what they will accept from a new driver and what they won't accept for a new driver. You see what I'm saying? So as somebody who maybe don't have the best record, these second chance companies will definitely make you feel like you would not have a higher or better pay with your first year as a truck driver. Western Express and Pam Transport, personally, around the time that I was inquiring about, you know, their trucking company, they offered me really low cents per mile pay. So my biggest advice would be to look for smaller companies, or try to get on to like an Amazon or a FedEx or USPS or something like that, or like a Domino's. Like, look into the companies that have a higher pay, and a lot of these companies are looking for truck drivers. Like, even if you came out of CDL school, like freshly came out of CDL school, a lot of these companies will hire you, you know what I mean? So that is definitely something else that I would say is a con when it comes to truck driving your first year, you know, with being over the road. You have to run hard because you have low cents per mile pay. So something else that kind of bothers me with being an over-the-road truck driver is the fact that I'm always worrying or having to have one up on knowing where I'm asleep and park for the night. And I honestly and truly feel like it is a drag, you know, when you have an hour or 2 hours left on your clock and you're trying to look for, you know, a place to sleep and shut down. You know, a lot of people say trip plan, a lot of people say make sure you know, trip plan so you'll kind of know where you're going and where you're sleeping. But when you are over the road truck driver, I don't get my loads how other people get their loads. I've heard people tell me like, hey mama, you know, I know where I'm going for the day, and my company, we don't, well, at least for me, you know, they don't do me like this. So it's like I'm never knowing where I'm going when I leave Texas and, you know, I end up in South Carolina, or, you know, going to Florida and I end up on the other side of Tennessee, you know. So with me, it's just the unknown all the time. You know, trip planning, they'll tell you to trip plan, and once I get a hang of things, I will trip plan. And I do trip plan sometimes, but you know, just being realistic, when you're out over the road, you're more concerned about driving, not hitting anything. Maybe for you is getting there on time. You know, it's a lot of other factors you're worried about when driving a truck, you know, or just making sure that you have legal weight, your tandems is, you know, in a good spot. You know, so it's a lot of other things that you do worry about when you're an over-the-road truck driver. I think those are kind of like my main points, honestly. Just being away from family, the low pay, you have to run hard, you know, you always have to look for somewhere to park, you're always worried about where you're going to park. You know, also food, your food choices and your food selections are not always going to be the best or the healthiest. You know, a lot of these truck stops, they have very greasy, very unhealthy foods, and you're so tempted all of the time to, you know, I would definitely say eat unhealthy over the road. If you're somebody who's vegan or trying to be vegan, like me personally, I definitely want to get into, you know, not eating meat. I'm a soft eater anyway. Like, I don't eat a lot of meat. No, I'm like a person who likes seafood and mashed potatoes and macaroni and rolls. You know, I'm more of like a soft food eater. So I don't eat a lot of meat, but I would definitely say if I can just cut meat out completely, it is definitely something I am actually working towards as of right now. Like, I want to really get in tune with my body. I really want to get in tune with my health. That is definitely something I would say is a con with being a truck driver. If you do not shop, like grocery shop, you're destined to gain bad eating habits being an over-the-road truck driver, because the eating choices at the truck stops are not healthy and they're not always the best. Ooh, this is another one. Not everybody over the road is nice. You know, I done been to a few guard shacks and shippers and receivers, you know, whatever y'all want to call them. I done been to a lot of these places where the women and the men you know, the older women, the older men, they are very mean people. And you know, I don't know if they just have came across bad drivers before I got there. Sometimes I don't know if they're just having a bad day, but to me, you can't be having a bad day every day, you know what I mean? And sometimes people over the road is just not the nicest of people. And as somebody who, I love people, I really like people. Now, just me personally, I love people, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely love people, and that's why, like, my career and my profession before I became a truck driver had a lot to do with people, you know, and my clients and how they feel and what they want and what they need, and catering to them, you know, and making sure that they're okay. Like, that was just a career and profession that I was in before truck driving, so I naturally have a love for people. I think that me being an over-the-road truck driver kind of taught me that, hey, everybody is not nice. Just because you're a nice person and, you know, you don't bother nobody, you know, you cool, calm, collect, you're not gonna always run across people who are nice to you when you're over the road. You know, a lot of people, they be at these truck stops, they be tired. People park all different types of ways at these truck stops. You got people that'll come and knock on your door, and a lot of times you get to these truck stops, they are very good. And when I say they, I do mean like the OG truck drivers, the veteran truck drivers, the truck drivers who basically been in the game for a long time. They can kind of pinpoint the new truck drivers based on how you park and how long that it takes you to park. And sometimes they're not the nicest of people, so they're bold. They're very bold. So something else that always have me on the edge with being an over-the-road truck driver is the fact that, you know, hygiene as a female, you know, and when I refer to hygiene, I am referring to like the cycles that we have, you know, the cycles of being a woman, you know, and our mother nature, you know what I mean, and just dealing with mother nature and cycles over the road, you know. Me personally, I got on birth control simply because I did not want to deal with having a menstrual cycle over the road and having to deal with the cramps. See, I don't have like the typical, you know, cycle cramps. I have like, I'm finna have a baby cramps. Like, I'm finna push out a whole human. I feel like I am getting ripped. When I have cramps, it feels like somebody is ripping the inside of my tummy. Like, I have really, really bad cramps. I throw up, I cry, I get sick, I can't move, I get hot, I get fevers, I get chills. It is not pretty. So as a woman who have had bad cramps and a bad heavy menstrual cycle since I was a child, I do not, and I was not going to deal with that over the road, by no means necessary. I know that being on birth control is not natural, and I also know that birth control has its side effects, you know, with the deficiency, like the calcium deficiency. It's a lot of negative side effects with being on birth control that I am very much so aware of, but it is a great way that I have been coping with hygiene and, you know, mother nature. So that's something to maybe consider if you are a woman like me that have very, very bad, like not the usual bad cycles and bad cramps. So I kind of ran out of things that I would say is a con for being an over-the-road female truck driver. I can't really think of nothing right now because I do got to get ready to start my clock, and I definitely do got to get ready to get rolling. But if I think of anything else that I feel like I would want or need to share with you guys, I would definitely do a part 2 on this video. Okay, so we're gonna hop straight into the pros of being a female truck driver over the road. So my first pro when it comes to being a over-the-road female truck driver is that you get to see a lot of things. Basically a lot of things that you was not used to seeing when, you know, you was not a truck driver. It definitely changes when you become a truck driver. Like, I feel like I have seen a good bit, and I am still seeing a good bit of the world in all of these different cities and all of these different states that I go to. I get to see them in a different light because I am in a semi-truck. Like, the views are different, the vibe is different. You guys know how it is when you're driving down the highway in these big trucks. You got your music blasting, the temperature feel good in here, you making money, you know what I'm saying, just for driving, and it's a different feeling. It's a totally different feeling that's not the usual that you would get, you know, just driving your car and paying for gas and everything is on you. You know, when you go to these different cities and when you go to these different states, it is on the company. Especially if you're a company driver, you are getting basically paid to see that city and see that state. So I think that is very cool. Like a lot of the things that you have not seen or was open or exposed to, it opens up when you become a truck driver. Something else that I would definitely say is a pro when it comes to being an over-the-road truck driver for me, you know, just being a female, is that it opens me up to meet new people and meet new men. Being more exposed to meeting people. You guys know I'm like in my 20s, so, you know, me personally, I am kind of always keeping an eye out for my soulmate. I do want to get married, you know what I'm saying, if possible, and I definitely want to meet and have new friends, you know, that could maybe one day be my bridesmaids. So me personally, like the fact that I did not go to college, you know, I didn't get that chance or that experience to be able to know what it feels like to make friends in college, and these are the girls and the men that be your bridesmaids and be your grooms and, you know, things of that nature. I never got a chance to experience that. You know, I grew up going to public school, and then all of a sudden I went to private school. And if I'm not mistaken, I mentioned this before, you know, I was private homeschool my last, I think, year or 2 in high school. I was homeschooled, private homeschooled, because I was presented with the opportunity to go on tour, you know, and showcase all of these different rappers. I got paid really good money. I got paid every single day, and we was out for, you know, weeks and months and months and months at a time. I got paid every day. So for me, the option was either go on tour and be private homeschooled by my nana or my mom, and, you know, get that experience under my belt, or finish school, you know, and lose the opportunity. I sacrificed walking across the stage. I sacrificed all those years of me being an all-A student to, you know, nobody knowing or ever knew, you know, how hard I used to work in school. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed basically like my achievements in school for going on tour. And that was just my personal, you know, decision. But I did not know at that time, with me being so young, I did not know that I would have later probably maybe wanted to walk across the stage or anything like that. A pro when it comes to being a female truck driver is the fact you get a lot of compliments, you get a lot of stares, you get a lot of people that down the highway, you know, people are always so excited to see female truck drivers. You get a lot of attention being a female truck driver over the road. You know, people do not take it lightly when they see a woman in these trucks. It is actually mind-blowing to a lot of people, you know what I mean? And I get the most questions and the most stares, and, you know, people, they have to kind of see my energy or see me smile, and they're like, oh my god, you're a truck driver. Like, to a lot of people, it's so cool. And to kids, you know, younger kids are so used to seeing the older OG truck drivers driving the trucks, and so to see a woman, a girl, you know, in their eyes, a girl, you know, it's like, oh my god, honk the horn. Like, so it just be so cool, you know what I'm saying? And I just be like, you know what I'm saying, with the horn. It be cool, okay? It be really, really cool, because as truck drivers, you know, when the kids ride past and they go like this, and the parents looking out the window, and you honk the horn for them, like, those are memories, childhood memories that you are giving kids. Because I remember when I was a kid, you know, before I became a truck driver, like, I used to love seeing the truck drivers driving these big trucks, and they would honk the horn. The horn sound would be so cool, you know what I mean? So we also create childhood memories for kids, just going about our everyday, day-to-day life as a trucker. So something that I also would say is a pro to me when it comes to being a truck driver was I was in a career field where I made a lot of money doing what I love to do with the camera work. The fact that now I'm a truck driver as well, you know, along with what I already do in my other career, I have 2+ careers. It's the fact that I thought I made great money with what I did before I became a truck driver. But truck driving and getting paid weekly changed the ball game for me. You know, as somebody who was used to making 4, 5, 6,000 on a really good weekend or a really good week, you know, even if it's just every other couple weeks or every other 2 or 3 weeks, you know, my clients booked me faithfully. I was on photography really heavy, and so thinking that that money was like bomb, you know what I'm saying, trucking exposed me to income that is more stable, and I know that is coming. It allows for me to plan and gain and purchase more assets and make more investments at a faster and quicker rate. See, with photography and videography and all the other stuff that I'm into and good at, I made great money, but it was not a always consistent basis of me making that money. I always made it, but I didn't always know when it was coming. You see what I'm saying? It was just the fact of trusting God, trusting myself, trusting my clients, and my work ethic. And my work ethic and my clients have took me for 9+ years. So truck driving, you know, and just having a stable job that brought me stability, it's like a whole different type of feeling when I know I'm getting paid every single week. You know, and so the money that I thought I was making in photography and videography and other things that I also still do, I thought that was great money. But adding truck driving to it, and something else that I also want to really share to my younger people, especially my younger people, is that if you are in your 20s and you feel lost, and maybe you got your own apartment, or maybe you have, you know, a car, but your car has a car note, you know, trucking can really eliminate a lot of your bills. And that was mind-blowing to me. Before I became a truck driver, I was like, yeah, I know people, you know, sleep in their truck and whatnot and all of that, but the fact that truck driving can eliminate your rent, your car note, truck driving can eliminate a lot of bills just in itself. I was like, this is the best way to get it in your 20s to be comfortable by the time that you're in your late 20s. Not 30s and 40s and 50s, but your late 20s. So my way of thinking was, if I can get it in my first couple of years in my 20s, my late 20s, I'm gonna be chilling. You see what I'm saying? My truck came on. But in my late 20s, I'm gonna be chilling, okay? So being a truck driver and being an over-the-road truck driver is a pro, because you basically are assigned the truck. The truck is basically yours, and you are not responsible for paying for nothing. It's a reason why we tell you when you first become a truck driver to get your rewards cards and build up your points on these rewards cards at these truck stops with the company's card with your fuel, because you will have free showers. I don't care if you quit your job and you quit your job 5-10 years from now, whatever the case may be. If I am not mistaken, you can still have free showers, okay, at these truck stops and these places. And a lot of these places do be nice, a lot of these places do be not that nice, but free water, you don't have to tell me twice. I don't have to pay for it. No rent. Guys, listen to me. Not paying for anything, you're getting paid. You see in the world for free, you know. And if you are a content creator, you can make your job fun by filming. It's a game changer to me. Truck driving was the game changer for me, because when I put 2 and 2 together, that you telling me that I cannot have rent the beginning of my 20s, save up this money, buy assets, maybe if I wanted to, buy a box truck, buy a semi truck, you know, go on and get everything that I want out my flesh. If I can go ahead and get the wants out my flesh, the beginning of my 20s, and I'm talking about assets. We talking about things that's gonna make us money. Get all the equipment that I need, get all of the cameras that I want, get all of the things that's gonna put me in a better position if I put this trucking down for a year or take a break for 2-3 years, because I want to get back to shooting my people. If I wanted to do that, I can, because guess what? Now I got my own truck. I can hop in there when I want to. I got my own land. I can hop in there when I want to. I have my own house and properties. I can sell it, rent it out, or go home when I want to. It's a game changer. And a lot of people don't see it like that yet until you remind them that you got to understand with truck driving. That's why I said you get it in your first year. You get that experience, get it in. You know, don't worry about the money when you first become a truck driver, because the money ain't going to be there. Yeah, if you get on with a smaller company, or yes, if you know what I'm saying, you pull your strings, so that way after 2-3 years, baby, you gonna get paid that bread. I don't know with how trucking is going right now, is the freight prices gonna rise or drop somewhere, but let me tell you, when you don't have a high overhead in trucking, it don't matter too much of what they pay. You getting paid that money, okay? You getting paid that guap. You know what I mean? Because I know truck drivers that's making $6,000-7,000 at the least on a slow week. You know what I mean? Really listen to me when I tell you guys this. It eliminates bills. It eliminates your rent. It will eliminate your car note. Get rid of that car. Eliminate those extra credit card bills. Because when you on this semi truck, all you gotta do is keep yourself sane, happy, in a good mood, motivated, and it's gonna come with making sacrifices now, but it's gonna be so worth it in the end. So I gotta get ready to get back to trucking, guys. It is around that time. I gotta get ready to check my tablet, but I would just definitely say, look, the pros in trucking is there. Okay, travel, it eliminates your bills. You make dumb money, especially if you have a low overhead. And even if you're not getting paid that much your first year, when you ain't got too much of an overhead, like for me personally, I have a cell phone bill and an insurance bill. That's it. And I also have bills that I help, take care of my family sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? I would just say, try to utilize being young and free. So let me leave you with this message, because it's really on my heart to tell you guys this. Utilize your youth, okay? Because a lot of people no longer have that. While we out here in our 20s stressing about somebody who's driving a G-Wagon, I know I definitely can speak for myself. I really want a G-Wagon. But just utilize your youth, and don't focus your youth so much on having it all so early. Because a lot of things that these vet truck drivers, these OG truck drivers, they put in that work. Gotta respect them. They put in that work to get the land, the businesses, the fleet that they have now. If you can really utilize your youth and take advantage of just having a cell phone bill and insurance, maybe helping out your family here and there, maybe investing into your business here and there, truck driving can change your life, okay? And just in case you guys don't know this already, me and my OG truck drivers, my rookie truck drivers, my truck drivers who just got in the game, my truck drivers who've been trucking for a long time, we all hop on my TikTok live between the hours of 12 at night, midnight to 9 o'clock in the morning. We get on there and we give you guys free game, we vibe, we give you guys insight, we tell you guys the apps to use to find these jobs, bag these jobs. We basically share a whole lot of valuable information for free. Just sitting, talking, vibing, speaking positivity into each other and into everybody's dream on there and online. If you want to stay in tune, definitely follow me on TikTok. She's Someone Special. You guys know it's on all platforms. Instagram, She's Someone Special. TikTok, She's Someone Special. And follow my trucking journey, because I really, really want to see how far this trucking industry can take me. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Being a photographer and videographer, it has took me far. But I can only imagine the years from now of how much further I can be and we could be if we set our goals and we put our minds to it. Like I said, there's so many other things that I can tell you guys as a pro of truck driving, but let me tell you something. Financial freedom alone is the biggest pro, okay? That's the main one you guys should know about. Alright? So that concludes this video, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. click that subscribe button. I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you guys follow me on all platforms, and if you haven't already, make sure you leave your wonderful comments in the comment section below, guys. I gotta get to trucking. That's all, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.